So, this is a video response to my last video where I talked about how I was sexually harassed at work. And really, I'm going to be addressing a few comments that were made in the video. Quite a few comments that were left in the video that kind of rubbed me the wrong way because the commenter obviously misinterpreted my words and turned it into something that it just really was not. So I'm going to read off the comments and I'm going to give my little feedback on it. So he started off by saying, "Actually, I think you were hurt before this happened. It's not as if he touched an intimate place, just your right thigh." Okay. Regardless of whether he touched me on my penis, on my ass, on my chest, arm, finger, I don't care. Do not touch me. First of all, I'm at work. So, regardless of anything like that, if I'm not shaking your hand, then do not touch me. And my thigh, that could have easily been my area. That could have easily been my dick. But I moved his hand before he even had the opportunity to move it up there. So that's that. So I think you said it best. Your hurt came from your past. Yes, it did. It's why I said that. His hurt came from you rejecting him and embarrassment probably from pushing him so hard, overstepping his bounds. Now, rejecting him, I don't think this counts as rejection. It is, but not in the way you're trying to make it seem. Okay? If he's hurt, that's on him because he should not have came up to me, especially while I'm at work, and came at me the way he did. And it's not like he said, "Oh, I want to go with you," or "I think you're really cute," or whatever, and "may I get your number?" No. He said, "I just, meaning that's all he wanted to do. I just want to fuck you," which means all he wanted was to have sex. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? So, he should not be hurt for any reason. So, I don't see how you feel like he has any type of hurt because he did the fucking most. And he know he did the fucking most. So, whatever hurt, that's on him. That has nothing to do with me. Now, he shouldn't have done all that, way too much, no matter how horny he was. He didn't know you, and you could have been a psycho who went dangerous on him. Again, that makes me sad. Just a bad situation all around. I wouldn't say that I would place fault in that circumstance, but obviously, if anyone did, it would be on the horny guy. But yeah, I think two people walked away from that situation hurt, and that makes me sad. Now, the fault goes on him completely. At all, because I'm, like I said, in my place of business where I'm working, making my money. Do not come up to me while I'm working with that bullshit. Like, who does that? I don't see how two people could have walked away hurt from that. There's no way. Yes, me, because I was in a situation and I previously stated in the video that my hurt came from somewhere in my past. But where's his hurt coming from? He shouldn't have no hurt. Like I said, he was bold enough to walk up and say that, so he's bold enough for any reply that I throw at him. Whether it be my silence, which is a lot stronger than my words. Because I wanted to say some things, believe me, but silence is always louder than a scream. Let's see. Oh, I see now. Did you feel like you didn't know what to say though? No. There was plenty of things that I wanted to say and I could have said, but being that I was at work, silence was the best thing to do. It's just to be quiet. Now, in a regular situation, had he been out on the street or anything, yeah, I probably would have cussed him the fuck out. But being that I was at work, there's no need to even stoop that far because I'm at work. And that can easily turn into something else. Me going off on somebody that lives in the building. So I knew what I wanted to say, but I chose not to say it. I mean, you are attractive, and I'm sure you have clubbed before. I don't see what that has to do with anything, but okay. So, I mean, you didn't think to say I'm dating somebody, or if you're either kind of what, or if you're the kind of dude who doesn't like being clocked, seen as being gay by a stranger. Just say I'm not like that, bro. Okay. Well, as far as my sexual orientation goes, I don't care who clocks my teeth. I know I'm gay. I don't care. I'm open about it. So whoever feels like they're gonna clock my teeth, go ahead and clock it. I'm gay. So what? There's nothing to clock. Okay? I'm the biggest, like one of the biggest queens you'll meet. I don't people people know if they see me walking down the street. I have like an incredible switch in my walk that I can't help. So if somebody comes up to me knowing I'm gay, clocking my teeth, girl, clock my teeth, because you're really not clocking anything because you're not telling me something that I don't know and that I'm not comfortable with. Um, and I didn't need to say that I'm dating somebody because honestly, he didn't come up to me asking me to date me or ask for my phone number. He wanted to have sex with me. And regardless of whether I was dating somebody or not, I'm not about to have sex with somebody just because they ran up to me and wanted to have sex. I'm not about to have sex with somebody just because they walk up to me and say they want to have sex with me because that's first of all, that's just not the type of person I am. I'm not going to just have sex because you are into me or anything like that. No, just because you want to fuck me doesn't mean I want to fuck you. Okay? Now, I guess this story affected me so much because I've been on the other side. I have been that guy. I didn't go touching people I have never met, but I did do that in high school with dudes I saw every day and who saw me who were straight. But wait, I would never do that as an adult, and I wish I hadn't done it as a teenager. But I have to wonder if he got that treatment from you only because you weren't into him, or because of his approach, or both. If it was mainly because of how he looked, that's not right. Like I said before, and I'm going to keep reiterating this because you misinterpreted the whole video. So I'm going to reiterate a lot of stuff for you so you can get it through your head. I'm not about to have sex with somebody who just because they're horny. I'm not going to do that. And again, he came to me while I'm at work. I'm not about to do that. Whether he was cute, fine, ugly, fat, skinny, short, I do not care. Whoever would have came up to me in that situation, whether I found them attractive or not, they would have got the same reply. Because that's just not I'm not about to have sex with somebody just because you want to have sex with me. And you come at me at work, do you really think that I was gonna jeopardize my job? My job, because that's really what this was about. Being sexually harassed on the job. I'm not about to put my job on the line for a quick fuck. No. If I really wanted a quick fuck, then I'd go do it on my free time. I would never, if I wanted to, do that at work. His looks had nothing to do with it. I'm not even gonna say whether I found him attractive or not because that's not the point of the story. He shouldn't have came up to me at work like that. Okay, so I don't want to seem like I'm attacking you, William, and the following may not apply to you, but I know that a lot of people will read the situation you described and have the following reply. Females have done that damsel in distress BS for centuries to make themselves feel even more desirable. There are no vacancies available for that position. So are you saying that I was acting like a damsel in distress in this situation? Because I don't see how I'm acting that way. I don't. Does anybody else feel like I was acting like a damsel in distress in that situation? Because I don't. I don't. I was not acting helpless. I wasn't doing any of that. I don't get it. But okay, whatever. I don't doubt that this dude was very horny and out of control, but I think sometimes the target of their affections feed on that attention to boost their ego. Then the damage from our past kicks in. I understand some people don't feel they have to voice to say no, but you have to find your voice to say no. Especially when you know he isn't catching how you're feeling. I know he did the most, but as a male, if you ever really been into someone or felt lonely, you gotta understand he couldn't read you. Okay. Well, yes, he was out of control and did the most and kept pressing the issue. But I stated this earlier. I could have said a whole lot of things and went berserk on him. But silence is the loudest scream. I'm at work. I'm not about to sit there and make a scene at my job with anybody. Somebody came up to me like that at work, I'm not going to acknowledge it because you know I'm at work. And common sense, anybody with common sense would know that dealing with anything of that sort could get you in any type of trouble. So it's oh my god, like this really got me mad. So I'm gonna ignore you. I'm gonna ignore him. He came up to me foul. I'm gonna ignore him. I could have said a whole lot of mean, very, very rude things, but I'm at work. So I continued doing what I was doing. But the way he pressed the issue is what really got to me because if I'm telling you no and you keep pressing the issue, it's like you're verbally raping me. You're verbally raping me, trying to get me to do something that I don't want to do. I'm not going to do that. And I use the analogy of I use rape because if you all know, I've I've been raped before, so I have problem like that kind of thing when you press an issue too much and that person won't take no for an answer. That brings me back to that time, and that's just some place I don't want to go no more at all. So you pressing that issue of wanting to have sex with me, and the fact that you want to have sex did not make the situation any better. So you're trying to rape me into having sex with you. No, no, not. Not at all. What else? And the last comment. I hope somebody does you that same way when you're really into them. Being gay is a struggle still, and just like straight men, a lot of us don't always know how to approach. You knew he was just into you, but you decided to play damsel in distress instead of saying something to let him know what you were feeling. Shame on you. Your past is your past, and I have sympathy for that. But what you did in that situation with that guy was leading him on and shocking him with charges and prosecution. Now, it is people just like you. I discussed this in the last video. It's people like you why I don't want to tell people because people are going to take their side. I thought that the supervisor would take his side because he lived there. He's known him longer, I'm sure. I've only been working there a month. You sat there and said that I did something. I did absolutely nothing in this situation. Nothing. He came up to me. I shouldn't have had to say no. First of all, you know I'm at work. Why the fuck would you come up to me at work and come at me with that shit? If you felt hurt by that, then that is on you because I'm at work. So you set yourself up for that rejection. Did you really think that I was going to sit there and say yes? Shame on me? Shame on me. Like, How did I lead him on? I didn't lead him on in no type of way. If I ignore your pleas and you're pushing me to do something and I don't say nothing, people with common sense know that that means no. No. Anybody with in their right frame of mind would just have moved on. And you said I led him on? I did not lead him on. Did I never once gave him paid him any mind to anything that he said to me. So there's no way I led him on. And then the fact that he sat there and lied on me and told the supervisor that I came up to his room looking for a good time? Really? No. No. So you misinterpreted everything, and I I, I can't. No, I really can't. I gotta get off camera. Um, I had to step away from my laptop for a minute because that really just got me worked up and it really got me upset. And I just needed a moment to gather myself. But the last thing that I do want to say in regards to into this to those comments is, and this is directly to you, the person who wrote these comments. It's people like you that make victims of rape, molestation, or any type of sexual assault or harassment afraid to speak out on the matter or tell people because they don't feel like people will believe them. And you clearly just you clearly proved my point in writing the comments that you did. Um, I remember when I got molested, I wasn't initially gonna tell somebody because I really didn't think nobody would believe me. But I told my cousin, and I honestly thought that he would believe me, but he didn't believe me. And that just made me think like, well, if he didn't believe me and as close as we are, and you didn't believe me that this person did this to me, I don't think anybody else is at all. And that's why we keep that shit in. And that's why when things like this happen to us, it gets us worked up. It brings us back to somewhere that is just we don't want to go back to. Our past is our past, yes, but we can't just ignore the fact that it happened at all because it happened. And if I think that if more people would hear out people, I mean, I know people lie about the situation, but you can like people should still be heard out because this a lot of this stuff does happen to people. There are some people who don't lie about it. There are some people that who get hurt from this and it affects them like later on in their life. They have intimacy issues or they tend to not want to trust people. Like a lot of things come from situations like this, whether that it was physical rape or verbal rape, it doesn't matter. It's all pretty much the same to me. So um um yeah. Um I just I I don't know what more to say. If I talk about this more, I'm just gonna get more worked up and emotional. But um, I just had to address that because that was misinterpreted, and